Hello friends, today we will learn about Mendelian principles. The term genetics, gen means to become or to grow into, was introduced by W. Batson in 1905 for the branch of biology dealing with heredity and variation. Genetics can be defined as a branch of biological science which deals with the mechanism of transmission of characters from parents to offspring. That means genetics is the study of heredity. Father of genetics. The Australian monk Gregor John Mendel was the first person to explain the mechanism involved in the transmission of characters from parents to the offsprings generation after generation. He is therefore considered as the pioneer of modern genetics and is called as father of genetics. Mendel was born in 1822 near Brunn in Austria, now Brno in Czechoslovakia. He worked as a priest in the local church and there he earned the title Gregor. Mendel started his historic experiments with garden pea in Monastery Garden. Pea means garden pea. The scientific name is Pisum sativum. He continued them for 9 years from 1856 to 1864. Mendel's conclusions in the form of basic genetic principle were published in an journal, that is the annual proceeding of Natural History Society of Brunn in 1865. Unfortunately, these outstanding contributions were overlooked by the scientific world of that time and remained obscure. 16 years after his demise, the scientists working independently of each other, namely Hugo de Vries in Holland and Karl Correns in Germany and Erich von Teckmark in Austria, arrived at the same conclusions as those of Mendel's work and its importance in 1900. Let's know about classical genetics, Mendel's principles. Gregor John Mendel in 1800, he was from 1822 to 1884. Known as the father of genetics, was an Austrian monk. In 1856, he published the results of hybridization experiments titled Experiments on Plant Hybrids in a journal, The Proceeding of Brunn Society of Natural History, and postulated the principles of inheritance, which are popularly known as Mendel's law. Let's know about Mendel's experiments in detail. Mendel chose the garden pea Pisum sativum for his experiment since it has many advantages like first is well defined discrete characters, bisexual flowers, third is predominant self fertilization, fourth is easy hybridization. Fifth is easy to cultivate and relatively short life cycle. Let's know about characters studied by Mendel. The characteristics of an organism are described as the characters or traits. Traits studied by Mendel were clear-cut and discrete. Such clear-cut, discrete characteristics are known as Mendelian characters. Mendel studied seven characters or traits, that is stem length, flower position, flower color, seed coat color, pod shape, pod color, cotyledon color, seed form. Stem length, first is dominant, tall, recessive means dwarf. Flower position, it may be axial or terminal. Flower color, it may be violet or white. Seed coat color, it may be gray or white. Pod shape, it may be implanted or constricted. Pod color, it may be green or yellow. Cotyledon color may be yellow or green. Seed form, it may be round or wrinkle. Flower color is positively correlated with seed coat color. Seeds with white seed coats were produced by plants that had white flowers, and those with gray seed coats came from plants that had violet flower. Allele. Each gene may exist in alternative forms known as alleles, which code for different versions of a particular inherited character. Wild type versus mutant alleles. Prevalent alleles in a population are called wild type alleles. These alleles typically encode proteins that are made in the right amount and function normally. Alleles that are present at less than 1% in the population and have been altered by mutation are called mutant alleles. Now, let's know about dominant and recessive alleles. A dominant allele masks or hides expression of a recessive allele, and it is represented by an uppercase letter. A recessive allele is an allele that exerts its effect only on the homozygous state, and in heterozygous condition its expression is masked by a dominant allele. It is represented by a lowercase letter. Homozygous and heterozygous. Each parent has two alleles for a trait. They may be homozygous, may be heterozygous. Homozygous indicating they possess two identical alleles for a trait. Homozygous dominant, there is two types of homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. Homozygous dominant genotypes possess two dominant alleles for a trait, that is capital T, and homozygous recessive genotypes possess two recessive alleles for a trait, that is t. Heterozygous genotypes possess one of each allele for a particular trait, capital T, small t. Alleles of the same gene, allele of the different gene, homozygous dominant alleles, heterozygous alleles. This all forms homologous chromosome. Genotype and phenotype. The genotype is defined as the genetic constitution of an individual for any particular character or trait. The genotype of an individual is usually expressed by a by a symbol, that is example small t, capital T small t, or capital T, etc. The phenotype is defined as the physical appearance of an individual for any particular trait. The phenotype of an individual is dependent on its genetic constitution. Types of heredity. Dominant and recessive alleles. An allele is said to be dominant if it is always expressed in the appearance of an organism, provided that at least one copy of it is present. For example, in pears, the alleles for green pods, that is capital G, is dominant to that for yellow pods, that is small g. Thus, pea plants with the pair of alleles, either capital G, or that is homozygous, or capital G small g, that is heterozygotes, will have green pods. The allele for yellow pods is recessive. The effects of this allele are only seen when it is present in both chromosomes, that is small g, that is homozygote. The description of a mode of biological inheritance consists of three main categories, that is number involved, loci involved chromosomes, and correlation genotype phenotypes, coincidental environmental interactions, sex-linked interactions, locus interaction. We will study all these points. Let's know about number of involved loci. Monogenetic means one locus. Oleogenetic means few loci. Polygenetic means many locus or many loci. Polygenic inheritance occurs when one characteristic is controlled by two or more genes. Often the genes are large in quantity but small in effect. Examples of human polygenic inheritance are height, skin color, eye color, and weight. Let's know about it involved chromosomes. Autosomal. Loci are not situated on a sex chromosome. An autosome is a chromosome that is not an allosome, that is not a sex chromosome. Autosomes appear in pairs whose members have the same form but differ from other pairs in a diploid cell, whereas members of an allosome pair may differ from one another and thereby determine sex. The DNA is autosomes is collectively known as tDNA, rDNA, atDNA, or auDNA. Gonosomal. That means loci are situated on a sex chromosome. X chromosomal. Loci are situated on the X chromosome. That is the more common in case. Y chromosome. That is loci are situated on the Y chromosome. Mitochondrial. Loci are situated on the mitochondrial DNA. Correlation genotype or phenotype. That is dominant, codominant, recessive, overdominant, underdominant. These three categories are part of every exact description of a mode of inheritance in the above in or the order. In addition, more specification, we should learn more. Let's study more. Coincidental and environmental interactions. First is penetrance. That means complete and incomplete. Percentual number. Expressivity. That means invariable, variable. Heritability. That means in polygenetic and sometimes also in oligogenetic modes of inheritance. Maternal or paternal imprinting phenomena also in epigenetics. It is seen in epigenetics. Let's know about sex-linked interactions. Sex-linked inheritance, that is gonosomal loci. Sex-limited phenotype expression, that is example is cryptorchidism. Next is inheritance through the maternal line, that is in case of mitochondrial DNA loci. Inheritance through the paternal line, that is in case of Y chromosomal loci. Now let's know about locus-locus interactions. That is first is epistasis with other loci, example ovodominance, gene coupling with other loci, also in it is seen in crossing over. Homozygous lethal factors. Semi-lethal factors. Determination and description of a mode of inheritance is achieved primarily through statistical analysis of pedigree data. Let's know about principles of heredity. The selective crossbreeding of common pea plants, that is Pisum sativum, over many generations. Mendel discovered that certain traits show up in offspring without any blending of parent characteristics. For instance, the pea flowers are either purple or white. Intermediate colors do not appear in the offspring of pollinated pea plants. Mendel observed 7 traits that are easily recognized and apparently only occur in one of two forms. That is, flower color is purple or white, flower position is axial or terminal, stem length is long or short, seed shape is round or wrinkled, seed color is yellow or green, pod shape is implanted or constricted, pod color is yellow or green. This observation that these traits do not show up in offspring plants with intermediate forms was critically important because the leading theory in biology at the time was that inherited trait blend from generation to generation. Most of the leading scientists in the 19th century accepted this blending theory. Charles Darwin proposed another equally wrong theory was known as pangenesis. This held that hereditary particles in our bodies are affected by the things we do during our lifetime. These modified particles were thought to migrate via blood to the reproductive cells and subsequently could be inherited by the next generation. This was essentially a variation of Lamarck's incorrect idea of the inheritance of acquired characteristics. Mendel picked common green pea plants for the focus of his research because they can be grown easily in large numbers and their reproduction can be manipulated. Pea plants have both male and female reproductive organs. As a result, they can either self pollinate themselves or cross pollinate with another plant. In these experiments, Mendel was able to selectively cross pollinate pure breed plants with particular traits and observe the outcome over many generations. This was the basis for his conclusions about the nature of genetic inheritance. The cross pollinating plants that either produce yellow or green pea seeds exclusively, Mendel found that the first offspring generation always has yellow seeds. However, the generation consistently has a 3 is to 1 ratio of yellow to green. The 3 is to 1 ratio occurs in later generations as well. Mendel realized that this underlying regularity was the key to understanding the basic mechanism of inheritance. He came to observe three important conclusions from the experimental results: that the inheritance of each trait is determined by units or factors that are passed on to descendant unchanged, and that an individual inherits one such unit from each parent for each trait, that a trait may not show up in an individual but can still be passed on to the next generation. It is important to realize that in this experiment, the starting parent plants were homologous for pea seed color. That is to say, they each had two identical forms of the gene for this trait, two yellows or two greens. The plants in the F1 generation were all heterozygous. In other words, they each had inherited two different alleles, one from each parent plant. It becomes clearer when we look at the actual genetic makeup or genotype of the pea plants instead of only the phenotype or observable physical characteristics. Note that each of the F1 generation plant inherited a Y allele from one parent and a G allele from the other. When the F1 plants breed, each has an equal chance of passing on either Y or G allele to each offspring. With all of the seven pea plant traits that Mendel examined, one form appeared dominant over the other, which is to say it masked the presence of the other allele. For example, when the genotype for pea seed color is YG heterozygous, the phenotype is yellow. However, the dominant yellow allele does not alter the recessive green one in any way. Both alleles can be passed on to the next generation unchanged. Mendel's observation from these experiments can be known in short. Let's study the summaries. The principle of segregation. First is the principle of segregation. Second is the principle of independent assortment. According to the principle of segregation, for any particular trait, the pair of alleles of each parent separate and only one allele passes from each parent onto an offspring. Which allele in a parent's pair of allele is inherited is a matter of chance. We now know that this segregation of alleles occurs during the process of sex cell formation. According to the principle of independent assortment, different pairs of alleles are passed to offspring independently of each other. The result is that new combinations of genes present in neither parent are possible. For example, a pea plant's inheritance of the ability to produce purple flowers instead of white ones does not make it more likely that it will also inherit the ability to produce yellow pea seeds in contrast to green ones. Likewise, the principle of independent assortment explains why the human inheritance of a particular eye color does not increase or decrease the likelihood of having six fingers on each hand. These two principles of inheritance, along with the understanding of unit inheritance and dominance, were the beginning of our modern science of genetics. However, Mendel did not realize that there are exceptions to these rules. Mendel's law of segregation, monohybrid cross. Mendel crossed true breeding plants that differed for a given character. A monohybrid cross involves one or mono character and different traits, that means hybrid traits. Pollen from true breeding pea plants with purple flowers was placed on stigmas of true breeding plants with white flowers, that means another trait. The F1 seeds were all purple. The white flower trait failed to appear at all. Because the purple flower trait completely masks the white flower trait when the true breeding plants are crossed, the purple flower trait is called dominant and the white flower trait is called recessive. The F1 plants were allowed to self-pollinate. This type was the monohybrid cross or the F1 cross. The progeny called F2 were examined. Roughly 1 by 4 were white and 3 by 4 were purple. Mendel proposed that the units responsible for inheritance were discrete particles, particulate theory. Modern genetics. During production of gametes, only one of the pair members for a given character passes to the gamete. Law of segregation. Let's know about law of segregation. When fertilization occurs, the zygote gets one from each parent, resorting the pair. Mendel's units of inheritance are now called genes. Different forms of a gene are called alleles. Each allele is given a symbol. In the case of purple flowers, P might represent purple and P white. By convention, uppercase P represents the dominant, lowercase p represents the recessive. Choose one letter and use a capital to denote dominant and a lowercase to denote recessive. True breeding individuals would have two copies of the same alleles. Purple would be capital P. Two copies of same allele homozygous. Homo means the same. White true breeding would be small p. Two copies of the same allele, that is equals to homozygous. Some purple flowered plants could be capital P small p, although they would not be true breeding. Individuals that are purple but had a white parent are heterozygous, capital P small p. Hetero means different. When an organism is studied for three different genes and has the allele capital A, capital B, small b, capital C, it is homozygous for capital A and capital C genes but heterozygous for the capital B genes. The physical appearance of an organism is its phenotype. Purple flowered would be a phenotype. The actual composition of the organism's allele for a gene is its genotype. Capital P, small p is a genotype. Now, the test cross. The useful tool for analyzing genetic crosses is the test cross, in which one individual of unknown genotype is crossed with another individual with a homozygous recessive genotype for the trait in question. A test cross traits a test cross test or reveals the genotype of the first individual. Suppose you were given a tall pea plant with no information about its parents because tallness is a dominant trait in peas. Your plant could be either homozygous capital T or heterozygous capital T small t, but you would not know which. You could you could determine its genotype by performing a test cross. If the plant were homozygous capital T, a test cross would produce all tall progeny. If the plant were heterozygous, half of the progeny would be tall and half would be short. When a test cross is performed, any recessive allele in the unknown genotype is expressed in the progeny because it will be paired with a recessive allele from the homozygous recessive parent. Now, let's know about Mendel's law of independent assortment. The second law describes the outcome of dihybrid crosses or hybrid crosses involving additional characters. A dihybrid is an individual that is a double heterozygote. Example with the genotype capital R, capital Y, small y, round seed, yellow seed. Mendel's second law states that the capital R, small r alleles assort into gametes independently of the capital Y, small y alleles. The dihybrid capital R, capital Y, small y produces gametes that have one allele of each gene. Four different gametes are possible and will be produced in each proportions capital Y, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, and small y. Random fertilization of gametes yields the outcome visible in the Punnett square. Note its 4 into 4 table construction to accommodate 16 possible phenotypes. Filling in the table and adding the like cells reveals a 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 ratio of the 4 possible phenotypes: round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. The law of independent assortment states that alleles of different genes assort independently of one another during gamete formation. In fact, this law is not always true. The law of independent assortment is accurate for genes that are on separate chromosomes but not necessarily for genes that are on the same chromosome. Genes that are close to each other on the same chromosome tend to stay together, but crossing over during meiosis may separate them. Now, let's know about law of probability. The Punnett square is not needed to determine the ratios of genotypes and phenotypes. Simple statistics and maths can save you the trouble of filling out a square. In a monohybrid cross, capital P small p cross capital P small p, each parent produced 1 by 2 p gametes and 1 by 2 small p gametes. If you want to determine how many of the offspring are small p, let's see how. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 equals to 1 by 4. Now, let's know about the goodness of fit chi-square test. To evaluate the role of chance in producing deviation between observed and expected values, a statistical test called the chi-square goodness of fit test is used. This test provides information about how well observed values fit expected values. Before we learn how to calculate the chi-square, it is important to understand what this test does and does not indicate about the genetic cross. The chi-square value is calculated by using the formula whole sum of O minus E square whole square divided by capital E. Now let's know about gene interaction. Phenotypic expression of gene may be altered by influence of other gene. The modification of the normal phenotype of certain genes is known as gene interactions. Types. The gene interaction is of two types. Intragenic interaction and intergenic interaction. Intragenic interaction is otherwise known as intraallelic and intergenic interaction is otherwise known as non-allelic. First of all, let's know about intragenic interaction. Interaction between two alleles of the same gene to produce a phenotype different from the normal dominant recessive phenotype. Example, incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple alleles. Let's know about intergenic interaction, that is non-allelic. These interactions occur between the alleles of different genes present on same or different chromosome to alter the normal phenotype. Example, complementary genes, supplementary genes, polygenes, epistasis, pleiotropy, lethal genes. Now come to intragenic interaction, that is multiple alleles. A number of human traits are the result of more than two types of alleles. Such traits are said to have multiple alleles for that trait. Multiple alleles is a type of non-Mendelian inheritance pattern that involves more than just the typical two alleles that usually code for a certain characteristic in a species. With multiple alleles, that means there is more than two phenotypes available depending on the dominant or recessive alleles that are available in the trait and the dominance pattern the individual alleles follow when combined together. Let's know about the examples. The human ABO blood type is a good example of multiple alleles. Humans can have red blood cells that are of type A, type B and type O. Type A is IA, type B is IB, type O is I. These three different alleles can be combined in different ways following Mendel's laws of inheritance. The resulting genotypes make either type A, type B, type AB or type O blood. Type A blood is a combination of either of two A alleles, IA, IA, or one capital A allele and one O allele, IA, I. Similarly, type B blood is coded for by either two capital B alleles, capital B alleles, that means IB, IB, or one B allele and one O allele, IB, I. Type O blood can only be obtained with two recessive O alleles, II. These are all examples of simple or complete dominance. Type AB blood is an example of codominance. The capital A allele and the capital B allele are equal in their dominance and will be expressed equally if they are paired together into the genotype capital A, capital IA, capital IB. Neither the capital A allele or the capital B allele is dominant over each other. So each type is expressed equally in the phenotype, giving the human an capital AB blood type. Simple sample blood type problems. Let's know about some problems. Type O blood. Type O blood, universal donor as it contains no capital A or capital B antigen. So the receiver's blood will not clot when given the O blood. Type AB blood, universal receptor receiver. AB is the universal receiver as it contains no anti A or anti B antibodies in its plasma. It can receive all blood types. Antigen, protein on the surface of the blood cell. This is antigen. Antigen is the protein on the surface of the blood cell. Allele A makes A antigen, allele B makes B antigen, allele O makes no antigens. Antibody. Let's know about antibody. Protein in the plasma that reacts with specific antigens that enter the blood, then enter the blood, then causes clumping together or clotting of similar A antigens. Now come to incomplete dominance. A cross between organisms with two different phenotypes produces offspring with a third phenotype that is a blending of the parental traits. It is like mixing paints. Red plus white will make pink. Red does not totally block the pink. Instead, there is incomplete dominance, and we end up with something in between. Using a capital letter for the dominant trait or a lowercase letter for the recessive trait, the letters we use are both going to be capital because neither trait dominates the other. Codominance. Let's know about codominance. Codominance is similar to incomplete dominance in that there is no dominant alleles. If two alleles have a codominance relationships in the heterozygotes, both alleles will be completely expressed. For example, in human ABO blood types, two of the three alleles are codominant. This gene controls the deposition of antigenic markers on cells. A person with blood type A, that is homozygous for IA or heterozygous for IA and recessive for I. For O type has one kind of antigen marker, while a person with blood type B, that is homozygous for IB or homozygous for IB, and the heterozygous for IB and recessive for I, for O type, has a slightly different kind of antigen marker. The heterozygote has blood type capital AB, and this person's cells have both capital A antigens and capital B antigens on their surfaces. There is no in between antigens as would be expected if the allele shows incomplete dominance. Both of the alleles are completely expressed and the person has both blood types at the same time. Now come to intergenic interactions. Complementary gene. They are those non-allelic genes which independently show a similar effect but produce a new trait when present together in the dominant form. Complementary genes were first studied by Bateson and Punnett in 1906 in case of flower color of sweet pea, that is Lathyrus odoratus. Here the flower color is purple if dominant alleles of two genes are present together. The color is white if the double dominant condition is absent. Both purple and white flowered plants appear in the F2 generation in the ratio of 9 is to 7. It is a modification of the dihybrid ratio of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. The appearance of purple color in 9 by 16 population shows that the color is determined by two dominant genes. When either of the two is absent, the pigment does not appear. Supplementary genes. Supplementary genes are a pair of non-allelic genes, one of which produces its effect independently in the dominant state, while the dominant allele of the second gene needs the presence of other gene for its expression. Let's know about supplementary genes in lab. Lab has two genes, that is K and L. In the recessive state, the second or supplementary gene 11 has no effect on the seed coat color. Dominant independently produces khaki color, while its recessive allele gives rise to buff color irrespective of the supplementary gene being dominant or recessive. In the dominant state, the supplementary gene, that is L, capital L, changes the effect of dominant allele of pigment forming gene, capital K, into chocolate color. F2 ratio is 9 is to 3 is to 4. Modified supplementary genes or collaborative supplementary genes or collaboration. They are two non-allelic genes which not only are able to produce their own effects independently when present in the dominant state, but can also interact to form a new trait. When none of these genes is present in the dominant state, single comb is formed. In case capital P alone is dominant, a P comb is formed, that is capital P, small r, capital P, smaller. If capital R alone is dominant, a rose comb is obtained, small p, capital R, small p, capital R. A walnut comb is formed when both capital P and capital R occurs together in dominant state PR to produce supplementary effect. When pure P combed and pure rose combed birds are crossed, all the offsprings of F individuals have walnut comb. On inbreeding the walnut combed birds, the F2 generation comes to have all the four types of combs in the ratio of 9 walnut, 3 pea, 3 rose, 1 single. Now let's know about inhibitory gene. When one out of two gene controlling a trait and other one could not show its phenotypic effect but can prevent the previous gene to show its phenotypic effect is known as inhibitory gene. Epistasis. The epistasis is in between two genes, that is at least a dihybrid and the phenotypes are less than 4. Dominant epistasis, that is 12 is to 3 is to 1. When dominant allele A masks the expression of capital B, capital A is epistatic gene of capital B. Capital A can express itself only in the presence of capital B or small b allele. Therefore, it is called dominant epistasis. Capital B expresses only when small a is present. Therefore, in 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 ratio, both 9 and 3 are expressing the A gene, capital A gene, and the ratio is now 12 is to 3 is to 1. Now come to recessive epistasis. Recessive alleles, recessive epistasis, that is 9 is to 3 is to 4. Recessive alleles alleles at one locus, that is small a, mask the phenotypic expression of other gene locus Such epistasis is called recessive epistasis. The alleles of capital B locus express themselves only when the epistatic locus capital A has dominant allele like capital A or capital A small a. The phenotypic ratio is 9 is to 3 is to 4. Now come to pleiotropy. Pleiotropy is the effect of a single gene or on more than one characteristic. An example is the Frizzle trait in chickens. The primary result of this gene is the production of defective feathers. Secondary results are both good and bad. Good include increased adaptation to warm temperatures. Bad include increasing metabolic rate, decreased egg laying, changes in heart, kidney and spleen. Cats that are white with blue eyes are often deaf. White cats with a blue and an yellow orange eye are deaf on the side with the blue eye. Sickle cell anemia is a human disease originating in warm lowland tropical areas where malaria is common. Sickle cell individuals suffer from a number of problems, all of which are pleiotropic effects of the sickle cell allele. Lethal genes. A lethal gene produces an effect which differs from the normal condition that its possessor is unable to survive. There is a mutant recessive gene which causes internal adhesions of the lungs. A child homozygous for the lethal gene might survive up to embryonic development, but at birth, when it suddenly comes dependent upon its lungs for its oxygen supply, it would be die. It would die because its lungs could not expand properly. Being recessive, it could be carried by normal parents in heterozygous condition without any ill effects. In a mice cross, heterozygous yellow produces offspring, one YY dies. 2 capital Y small y, that is heterozygous yellow, is to 1, that is small y homozygous non yellow. Hence a 2 is to 1 ratio is realized. The lethal gene dominant in mouse is thus lethal, causing death in homozygous condition capital Y capital Y. Let's know about polygenic inheritance. Polygenic inheritance refers to a single characteristic that is controlled by more than two genes. Polygenic inheritance patterns normally follow a normal, that is bell-shaped distribution covered it curve. It shows continuous variation. By increasing the number of genes controlling a trait, the number of phenotype combinations also increase until the number of phenotypes to which an individual can be assigned are no longer discrete but continuous. Explain that polygenic inheritance can contribute to continuous variation using two examples, one of which must be human skin color. Let's know about human skin color. The color of human skin is determined by the amount of dark pigments, that is melanin, it contains. At least four, possibly more, for at least four genes are involved in melanin production. For each gene, one allele codes for melanin production and the other does not. The combination of melanin producing alleles determines the degree of pigmentation leading to continuous variation. Now come to grain color in wheat. Wheat grains vary in color from white to dark red depending on the amount of red pigment they contain. Three genes control the color and each gene has two alleles, one coding for red pigment, the other coding for no pigment. The most frequent combinations have an equal number of pigment producing and no pigment alleles, whereas combinations of one extreme or the other are relatively rare. The overall pattern of inheritance shows continuous variation. Now come to polygenic inheritance of grain wheat color. First is pleiotropy. Single pleiotropy gene may influence the expression of more than one visible character. When expression of one trait controlled by more than two alleles is called multiple allele gene. Definition: certain genes are known to control the manifestation of a phenotypic trait as well as many other traits. This multiple gene effect is known as pleiotropy, and gene having multiple phenotypic effect is pleiotropic gene. Pleiotropic genes may not have equal influence on all the traits they control. The pleiotropic gene may cause a very dominant expression of its specific trait and a less evident expression of its other traits. That is secondary effect. Example: sickle cell anemia. It is an autosomal hereditary disease found in tropical Africa and African blacks. It is characterized by sickle-shaped RBC. It is because of a defective type of hemoglobin called sickle cell HB, capital HB, or capital H small b S. This is a major effect of pleiotropic gene and formation of sickle-shaped corpuscles by HBS is one of the secondary effects. This hemoglobin molecules is different from normal hemoglobin molecule as it loses its flexibility to pass from narrow capillaries. Sickle cell breakdown more rapidly, decreasing number of RBCs, leading to anemia. Poor circulation and anemia are other secondary effects. The effect deprives the tissue for oxygen and other symptoms headaches, fever, jaundice, low resistance. It is due to substitution of one amino acid valine for glutamic acid in beta polypeptide chain of hemoglobin. This small chain converts capital HB, capital B and capital A to HBS. This disease is manifested is homozygous recessive state, that is when both the alleles sickle cell HB half of individual die by age of 20 years. Now come to lethal genes, process discovered by L. Q0. The proteins coded by certain genes are absolutely essential for the survival of the organism. A mutation in any of such genes causes the synthesis of a non-functional or malfunctioning protein and thereby affect the viability of the individual. Genes with viability affecting mutations are called lethal genes. These may be dominant or recessive or conditional. Example: sickle cell anemia, Tay Sachs disease cause death of young children only in homozygote which are unable to produce enzyme needed for the normal fat metabolism. The accumulation of fat in nerve sheaths hampers transmission of nerve impulse, leading to poor muscular control and mental deficiency. Cross a yellow mouse with another yellow mouse, F1 progeny obtained in 2:1 ratio instead of 3:1. Lethal alleles falls into four categories. Early onset. Lethal alleles which result in early death of an organism during embryogenesis. Late onset. Lethal genes which have delayed effect so that the organism can live for some time but eventually succumb to the disease. Now conditional. Lethal alleles which kill organism under certain environmental conditions only. For example, a temperature sensitive lethal allele may kill organism at high temperature but not at low temperature. Semi-lethal. Lethal alleles which kill only some individuals in the population but not all. Probability. The chance that an event will occur in the future is called the event's probability. For example, if you flip a coin, the probability is 0.50 or 50% that the head side will be showing when it lands. The probability depends on the number of possible outcomes. In this case, there are two possible outcomes, head and tail, which are equally likely. This allows us to predict that there is a 50% chance that a coin flip will produce head. The general formula for the probability is probability equals to number of times an event occurs divided by total number of events. P head equals to 1 head divided by 1 head plus 1 tail equals to 1 by 2, that is 50%. A probability calculation allows us to predict the likelihood that an event will occur in the future. The accuracy of this prediction, however, depends to a great extent on the size of the sample. In genetic problems, we are often interested in the probability that a particular type of offspring will be produced. Now, let's know about genetic variation. Variation and its causes. The term variation describes the difference in characteristics shown by organisms belonging to the same natural population or species. Continuous and discontinuous variation. Discontinuous variation. There are certain characteristics within a population which exhibit a limited form of variation. Variation in this case produces individuals showing clear-cut differences with no intermediate between them, such as blood groups in humans, style length in Primula, wing length in Drosophila melanic, and light forms in Biston Betularia, and sex in animals and plants. Characteristics showing discontinuous variations are usually controlled by one or two major genes which may have two or more allelic forms, and their phenotype expression is relatively unaffected by environmental conditions. Since the phenotypic variation is restricted to certain clear-cut characteristics, this form of variation is alternatively known as quantitative inheritance. Continuous variation. Characteristic exhibiting continuous variations are produced by the combined effects of many genes environmental factors. The frequency distribution for a characteristic exhibiting continuous variation is a normal distribution curve. Now come to sources of variation. Two processes occurring during meiosis and the fusion of gametes during fertilization provide the means of introducing unlimited genetic variation into the population. This may be summarized as like, let's know the summaries. Crossing over. Reciprocal crossing over of genes between chromatid of homologous chromosomes may occur during prophase 1 of meiosis. This produces new linkage groups and so provides a major process of genetic recombination of alleles. Independent assortment. The orientation of the chromatids of homologous chromosomes on the equatorial spindle during metaphase 1 of meiosis determines the direction in which the pairs of chromatid move during anaphase 1. This orientation of the chromatid is random. During metaphase 2, the orientation of chromatid once more is random and determines which chromosomes migrate to opposite poles of the cell during anaphase 2. These random orientations and the subsequent independent assortment of the chromosome give rise to a large calculable number of different chromosome combinations in gametes. Random fusion of gametes during sexual reproduction as a result of fact that the fusion of male and female gametes is completely random. Thus, any male gamete is potentially capable of fusing with any female gamete. The sources of genetic variation account for the routine is gene reshuffling, which is the basis of continuous variation. Origins of variation. Variations may be non-heritable or heritable. Non-heritable means sunburn in a light-skinned individual. It's an example of non-heritable. Heritable example is skin color is in different races. The second type, which result from genetic changes, are the most significant in evolution. Mutation is any change in the structure or the amount of DNA in an organism. A gene or point mutation occurs at a single locus on a chromosome, most commonly by deletion, addition, or substitution of a nucleotide base. Examples are sickle cell anemia, phenylketonuria, and cystic fibrosis. A change in chromosome structure occurs when a substantial portion of a chromosome is altered. For example, Cry-Du-Chat syndrome results from deletion of a part of human chromosome 5th and a form of while blood cell cancer follows translocation of a portion of chromosome 8 to chromosome 14. Aneuploidy results from non-disjunction in which chromosomes fail to separate and anaphase of meiosis. The best known examples are Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and Turner syndrome. Polyploidy, most gametes is diploid, forming a polyploidy on fertilization. Polyploidy is rare in animals, but there is many important examples in plants. Example, banana are triploid and tetraploid. Tomatoes are larger and richer in vitamin C. Now, let's know about variation in chromosome number. Each species of animals or plants has fixed number of chromosomes. Sometimes, due to misdivision, numerical changes in the number of chromosomes may occur. This can occur spontaneously by certain external or internal factors, or may be induced by treating the dividing cells with certain chemicals or by radiation. The phenomenon of variations in the number of chromosomes is called heteroploidy. Monoploidy or haploidy. Let's know about monoploidy or haploidy. Monoploids possess only one set or single basic set of chromosomes. Haploids, on the other hand, have half the somatic chromosome number. Now come to origin of haploids. In honeybee, haploid males are found as a routine. These arise parthenogenetic form of unfertilized eggs of diploid organisms. Haploids can be artificially induced by any one of the methods. First is by X-ray treatment, second is by temperature shocks, third is by delayed pollination, fourth is by colchicine treatment, fifth is interspecific or intergenic hybridization, six is by culturing pollen grains. Morphology of haploids. Haploids are smaller in size in comparison to diploids. Their leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds are also comparatively small. These are also less resistant and comparatively weak. Cytology of haploids. The haploids have just univalence without any homologous two pair. These univalents are distributed at random during anaphase 1 of meiosis producing monozomic. Thus, haploids are sterile. Use of haploids. Haploids are used to study the role of individual chromosomes. Homozygous diploids are obtained from such haploids by doubling the chromosomes with colchicine treatment. Polyploidy or euploidy. Organisms with more than two sets of chromosomes are known as polyploids. That is, these possess one or more haploid sets of chromosomes in addition to the original diploid configuration. Individuals with three sets of chromosomes are known as triploids. Those with the total 4 sets of chromosomes are triploid. Those with 5 sets are pentaploids. With the 6 sets, they are hexaploids, and so on. This phenomenon of change in the number of sets of the chromosome is known as polyploidy. Type of polyploids. Depending upon the sources of additional chromosome sets, the polyploids are of two types. First is autopolyploids. In autopolyploids, the chromosome set or sets of the same species is added to its diploid genome. If a diploid cell has capital A genome, autotriploid will have capital A, capital A, triple capital A, and an autotetraploid, that means four capital A's. A. Origin of polyploids. The polyploid could arise in some ways. Let's know about these ways. First is by the union of diploid gametes produced in the absence of meiosis or due to abnormal meiosis. Autotetraploid. By second is by somatic doubling of the chromosome in a diploid zygote due to abnormal mitosis, that is autotetraploid. Third is by the union doubling of the chromosome in a diploid zygote due to abnormal mitosis, autotetraploid. Fourth is by a cross between a tetraploid and a diploid parent, that is autotriploid. By fifth is by fertilization of an egg with two sperms, that is autotriploid. Autopolyploids are relatively rare in nature. These can be produced artificially. Examples of natural autopolyploids are dubrus, Cynodon dactylon, and autotriploid Rye, and autotetraploid. Autoploids are known in Borsim, marigold, snapdragon, flax, grapes, apples, etc. Autopolyploids are induced by treating the zygote with colchicine in banana, datura, potato, coffee, etc. Cytological behavior of autopolyploids. Polyploids possess more than two sets of homologous chromosomes. This leads to the formation of multivalent meiosis in triploids and pentaploids is not abnormal. The third homologous either falls to pair forming a univalent or is randomly distributed to the gametes. The number of chromosomes in the gametes of triploid organism may vary from small n to 2n or may form trisomic or tetrasomic. Allopolyploids. Allopolyploids are formed by multiplication of chromosome sets of a hybrid of two diploid species. For example, an allotetraploid between two species capital A and species B will be formed if F1 hybrid of these two species undergoes chromosomes doubling or produces diploid gametes. Example, Raphanobrassica is the first known allotetraploid reported by Russian geneticist Karpesenko. It is hybrid of Raphanus sativus and Brassica oleracea, that is cabbage, radish and cabbage, developed by the fertilization of diploid gametes of F1 hybrid. Both radish and cabbage are diploid, each with 18 chromosomes. These hybrids are sterile because the 9 chromosomes of radish do not pair with 9 chromosomes of cabbage. Significance of polyploidy. Autopolyploidy not only increases the size and vigor of the plant but also changes the size of fruits and pollens. Second is it increases the osmotic concentration, vitamins, alkaloids, sugar contents of beet are also found to be increased. Polyploids also lead to changes in the season of blooming and fruiting and changes the annual plant into perennial plants. Thus, autopolyploidy provides a method by which a type may become adapted to new and specially to less favorable conditions. The allopolyploids suggest how new species could be arisen by crosses between two species. Polyploids can be used in propagating crops which are valued for vegetative organs. Now, origin of new species through polyploidy. Both auto as well as alloploids have played an important role in origin of new species, especially in plant kingdom. Example, Raphanobrassica. An excellent example of allotetraploids is furnished by the work carried out by the Russian geneticist Karpichenko. Now come to Gossypium. The American cultivated cottons Gossypium barbadense and hirsutum have 26 pairs of chromosomes and represent the amphitetraploid derivatives from crosses of diploid species with 13 pairs of chromosomes. The diploid species G. raymondi with 13 pairs of chromosomes occur in wild state in Central America, Peru, Galapagos Islands, and G. herbaceum is found in Old World. The American cottons represent tetraploid hybrid between the New World and cotton species. Artificial induction of polyploidy. Let's know about artificial induction of polyploidy. A number of chemicals have been found to induce polyploidy in plants, the most efficient and widely used chemical being colchicine. Colchicine is greatly used in horticulture because the plants treat with 0.01 to 0.65% aqueous solution of colchicine are more resistant to environmental changes. Decapitation was employed in tomato plants where the bud was removed and the shoots developing from the scar tissue were found to be tetraploid. Now come to aneuploids. Aneuploid is the addition or loss of one or more chromosome to the complete diploid chromosome complement of an organism. The organism with such chromosome complement are known as aneuploidy. Aneuploidy can be of two types. First is hyperploidy or hypoploidy. Hyperploidy. Let's know first about hyperploidy. Hyperploidy is the addition of one more chromosome to the diploid genome of an organism. It may be called trisomy when only one chromosome is added to the diploid genome, or tetrasomy, that is 2n plus 2, when both the chromosomes of a homologous pair are added to the diploid genome. Now come to hypoploid. Hypoploid is the loss of one or more chromosome from the diploid genome. It is known as monosomy when there is loss of one chromosome from the complete diploid set, and nullisomy when there is loss of both the chromosome of a homologous pair. Let's know about trisomy. Individuals having one chromosome extra to the diploid genome are called trisomics. In them, one chromosome is represented three times. For example, Datura stramonium possess 12 pairs of chromosomes. Could be 12 different trisomics. Types of trisomics. First is single trisomics, double trisomics, triple trisomics. Single trisomics with one extra chromosome, that is example 2n plus 1. Double trisomics with different extra chromosome, that is 2n plus 1 plus 1. Triple trisomics with 3 different extra chromosomes in one set, that is 2n plus 1 plus 1. So now come to sex-linked inheritance. Earliest known inheritance of sex-linked character is the bleeding disease hemophilia observed in the royal family of Spain. However, concept of sex-linked inheritance was introduced by T.S. Morgan in 1910 while working on D. melanogaster. Sex chromosome, that is XX, XY, are primarily concerned with determination of sex, but these do carry some genes for other character. The genes located on the X chromosome are called X-linked genes, and genes present on Y chromosomes are described as Hollandric genes because they are present only in males. Characteristics of sex-linked inheritance. Most of the sex-linked genes shows recessive tendency. They may be present either on X or Y or both X and Y chromosomes. They are more commonly seen in males as compared to females. The sex-linked genes present on X chromosomes, their alleles are absent on Y chromosomes. X-linked genes are never inherited from father to son. Classification on the basis of chromosomal linkage. Linked inheritance is of three types: X-linked inheritance, Y-linked inheritance, XY linked inheritance. X-linked inheritance. The genes which are located only on X chromosome, their alleles are absent on Y chromosomes. Transferred from father to daughter, grandson, or granddaughter. Example: hemophilia, red green color blindness, eye color in Drosophila. Now come to Y-linked inheritance. The genes which are located only on Y chromosome. They are transmitted to males only. Hypertrichos, example hypertrichos, that is hairs on ear pinna. XY XY linked inheritance. The genes are present both on X and Y chromosomes. Their inheritance is XY linked inheritance. Example: nephritis, retinitis pigmentosa. On the basis of generation to generation transmission, sex linked inheritance is of four types: hologenic, Hollandric, diandric, diagenic. Hologenic means transmission of character from female to female, that is mother to daughter. Hollandric means transmission of characters from male to female, that means male to male, that means father to son. Diandric means transmission of characters from female to male, that is mother to son or daughter. Uh, Diagenic means transmission of characters from male to female, that is father to a daughter or a son. Now let's know about human chromosome. Man possesses normal diploid number, that is 46 of chromosome, that is 23 pairs of chromosomes. Of the 23 pairs of chromosome, 22 pairs one autosome and one pair sex chromosome. The autosome of man and woman have represented as a similar appearance, but the sex chromosomes are different. The autosome of man and woman have similar represented as XX. The male sex chromosome are dissimilar, are presented as XY. The Y chromosome is similar than X and is male determining. Recognition of sex from interphase cells. BARR body technique. A structure consisting of condensed dark-stained X chromosome found in non-dividing nuclei of female mammals. The presence of bar body is used to confirm the sex of an athlete in sex determination test. It is named after Canadian anatomist M.L. Barr, who identified it in 1949. He suggested that During early embryogenesis, one of the two X chromosomes becomes genetically inert and form Barr body. This is known as Leon Leon's hypothesis. It means that there is one Barr body in females and none in male, or the number of Barr bodies is always one less the number of X chromosomes. In case of sex anomalies, an abnormal male has one Barr body and an abnormal female does not show Barr body. In triploid males and females, tetraploid males, there are two Barr bodies. Thank you.